you very much. Pascal from JKUAT. JKUAT is a public university, just 17 kilometers on Thika Road from here. Basically, what I want to just briefly discuss are some of the experiences that we've had implementing our ERP system. The first major problem was the choice of the system, and it was a very difficult moment at that period because the previous system had just crashed and management has lost all confidence on the system, and there had been other previous systems that had gone the same way. And at that time there was a choice of either having an in-house development or getting a system from vendors. And the best way was to get a system from vendors because there was no time to do implementation, testing, and all that. So the choice involved going around other universities, seeing what they're using. And one of the things that became clear is that when you're choosing an ERP, the most important thing is to have a system that has a very firm financial base, because all these other systems that you will develop, student management and procurement and all that, human resource, will tap into the financial system. So we made a choice of Sage ERP, and the implementation approach that we took was very daring because we had a small team trained to implement the system. So the vendor simply trained a number of people in the JKUAT who formed the steering committee, and these are the guys who actually did all the work. Apart from 2 weeks training and 10-day hand-holding, the rest of the work, data migration, customizing the system was done in-house. And that was quite interesting, and it had very many challenges because the expertise is difficult just to wake up one day and you know how to customize Sage ERP. But in the end, that was the approach that we took, and the system was implemented in 2009, and currently almost 80% of the modules are implemented. Then the issue of the vendor was simply, to have, one of the challenges was, are we going to get a local vendor or a vendor from outside the country? But I think this really doesn't matter. For us, what is most important is that the vendor be competent in implementing the system, and have experience implementing the system. And that is all that is required. And especially they are available for support and all that. Then another approach that we took was modular implementation. So starting from the GL upwards to the student management system. The student management system was also part of Sage ERP. It was a customization which was done by the vendor of Sage CRM. So we are using the CRM as the student management system. And the real advantage of this is that all these systems are really working together because it is one whole system. And the students are able to, the administrators are able to see the financial information, which was not possible then. The other challenge was organizational change. And as long as you have management support, everybody will, follow along. Most important is the management and a decision taken that this is the way forward. That's all that matters. And the other thing that we realized was that the user must be part of the process. So for example, we don't impose systems on the users. They are part of the team that evaluate the vendors. They are part of the team that are trained. And so they never talk of this ICT system. Okay, they talk of our system, and this has helped us to succeed in the implementation. Then the other major problem which was also pointed out by our auditors, because the whole process of our implementation was audited by Ernst & Young. The main challenge was project management, because we had an in-house project manager who was also the deputy finance officer. So you can imagine the amount of time he was giving to the project. So one of the things that we really learned is that you must, for an ERP implementation, there has to be a dedicated project manager. Without this, then the problem is that the project simply never closes. There is no closure on the project. So you are able to implement module 1, module 2. When you reach module 3, then you get stuck there and forget all the other modules. Then having a steering committee, and holding sign-off sessions for completed modules as a way of sensitizing users on, the fact that this system is succeeding because these various parts of the project have succeeded. And then simply to say, in April of this year, the ICT Directorate just decided we are going to close this project, no matter what happens, and start a new phase of saying we are now in the maintenance phase of the project. So that happened, and this was, and the whole university staff were invited for this, ceremony to close the project. Of course, as a way of saying that this is a system that is already being used, and it is a system that everyone should know that it's here to stay. Then finally, the issue of infrastructure. The JKUAT has various campuses within the country, and connected by, as KENET. KENET is our provider for internet. But the issue is that for our VPN, for all these campuses, it has been a major challenge connecting all these campuses so that we can have a centralized system that all of them can tap into. So we have a virtual network connecting some of the campuses. Not all campuses are connected. So when you come to cost of hardware and software, this is always a major challenge, because the costs involved in acquiring the ERP is already really high, because it was a proprietary ERP. And now the cost of the hardware also, this has to be factored in when thinking about ERP implementation. So I think those are this summary of our experiences in our implementation. And for the future, basically having a strong financial system which can be customized, meaning that even if we created, for example, we are now creating a student online services portal that can be able to integrate with the stage Jackpot ERP. So the most important thing is that if you have a good financial base, have a good ERP, procurement and all, the major components of an ERP, then you can be able even to build other systems, not necessarily proprietary, but in-house, built on your ERP to be able to provide additional services, because the ERP never really quite provides that spectrum of services that the university would need. Thank you.
Thank you.